right, hello everybody, welcome back to the Brothers Grim Dark. I'm just going to give you a quick overview about some little tweaks we're doing in Season 2 for our kind of general games. So this is going to cover our Tempest games, boarding actions, and a bit of the Crusade stuff as well. The competitive we're going to do a little bit differently. We're going to take that a little bit more seriously because you have to do competitive games seriously. Lyndon's going to talk about that in another video. So I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of a few little tweaks we're making for our sort of general house rules, we'll say. So first off, we hate command rerolls because it's boring and dumb, so we're getting rid of that. So there's no command rerolls in our general purpose games, just because we think there's more fun things to spend CP on. This is obviously with 9th edition, with 10th edition, we'll see how things pan out, but generally we want to keep the games fun, a bit more random and exciting, so you're not going to see us doing command rerolls. We're also going to be tweaking a little bit how we do stratagems. Again, this might change a little bit once we get to 10th edition, but we want to keep things a bit simpler. So for our Tempest games, we're going to limit it to picking 6 stratagems per army before the game starts. They could change per game, but we just don't want to be sifting through like 20, 30 stratagems during our games. So we're just going to pick the 6 which we think are most fun, and we're going to play with those. So at the start of the game, I'll probably tell you what we're doing, or you'll see it as we're going. Again, we're making things as fun as possible and trying to do things which are cool. We're not going to be charging CP for Martial Legacy units. So if you want to bring a cool Forge World unit, which we have a couple of and they're really silly and great, we don't think it makes much sense to pay for those. We'd rather just get cool units on the table and do cool stuff with them. So yeah, so you might be seeing a particularly large Night Lord's tank show up in one of our games. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm getting it without paying CP for it. And we're also going to tweak rules where they seem like they're necessary. So for example, spoiler, there will be a Spartan coming at some point, and it has las cannons on it. Weirdly, the las cannons it has are not the same ones as the Land Raider has in the Chaos Codex now, so we're just going to count it as that. So as we do sort of older units, things like that, you might see us tweak rules a little bit just to bring them up to date with what's going on with the rest of the codexes. So you'll see a little bit of that going on as well. That's mostly it. There will be a couple of little tweaks where we kind of think it makes sense or to simplify things. In Season 1, you probably saw that when I bring like my Terminator Lord, for example, he's got a pair of lightning claws, and we think it's really fun to give him the demon weapon with those. But rules as written, you can only give the demon weapon to one of his lightning claws, not the other one. So he's just kind of left pawing you with his one claw, and that's dumb. So we're going to count that as one weapon. So you'll see little tweaks and things like that as we kind of go as well. But mostly it's just to kind of streamline things a little bit, make it more fun. Yeah, it's going to maybe unbalance things just a tiny bit, but we're not having competitive Tempest games or Crusade and things like that. It's just for getting fun things out there. So that's mostly it, I think. We hope you really enjoy the games. We have great fun doing them. They're just silly, and we want to get as much silly, cool stuff on the table as possible and have the best time with them. So that's where these kind of little tweaks come from. If you've got any questions about them or suggestions for other things you would like to see us do in our games, put them down there somewhere. And yeah, we'll get going with those. But check out our Tempest games, Crusade games, and our all new boarding action games coming up very soon.